Hello everybody, this is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I was just sitting here stitching on flowers, and I noticed Mary's not on, so I'm thinking she's at that lake property, and I hope she's having fun. But I have a very busy day tomorrow, so I thought while I'm stitching these flowers down, I could come on and show you kind of how I'm stitching them down. And I'm just using some anchor thread that's kind of like the DMC thread, but it's Anchor brand. And I'm pretty sure this was some that we picked up at the thrift store.
There you go.
So I thought I would do this for about 30 minutes, and then I need to get ready for bed because I'm usually in bed by now. But I wanted to get my flowers stitched down. I may have to make one more flower because I think one got lost in the mail. So that is what I'm doing. And this one is from Pam, Ginger Pam. And I'm keeping everybody's names that sent the flowers with their flowers by pinning the little paper I've written their names on onto the piece. There we go. Now I can get it closer to me and you guys can still see. And I'm trying to keep it, because I'm not using a hoop or anything, but I want the fabric to stay smooth. So I'm doing the best I can, and I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a tack and then move over a little bit and then do another little tack up through the layers. And I tried to get the thread about the same color as the lace she used to create the flower. I just want to make sure it's staying smooth. And Scott and I went to the Goodwill tonight, and I got a rocking chair for Jeff Rabbit to sit in, and he can hold Paisley Pig and Zoya Doll. Yeah, Scott's going out to turn the light off in the garage, I think, because I noticed it was on. So I think I'm almost around. I got this part here to do. And I might put a few extra stitches in because it's a chunky monkey, and I don't want the weight to pull down on it. Hi Linda, how are you? But yeah, I was saying earlier I might have to make one more flower. I don't want to, make a solid stitching for this because I'm just trying to tack it down so that it'll hold this flower in place. All right, I'm going to come and get a little bit closer toward the center now. And I'm taking a little stitch through the layers and a long stitch at the back. This time I think I'm going to just pull all the way to the back. Come up inside between those two layers there. Look and see how the back is looking? Big old stitches, but nobody's going to see the back once I do a little quilting on it and so on. I have not added any of the little pink flowers like I thought I was going to along the bottom. I haven't done that yet. I was just watching Marion. She was adding bluebells and violets to her hand-stitched coat, which is just amazing to me. That coat is just stunning. one of a kind. Nobody else will have a coat like hers. She made the coat sewing all by hand, and now she's doing all that beautiful embroidery on it. I just can't ooh and ah enough over it. I saw a statement the other day, and it was all about not giving up on yourself. And the gentleman said, when somebody says, do you know how to do something? You say, I don't know how to do it yet, meaning you can learn anything. So no matter what your age, don't ever say that you can't do something, because you can't do it yet, but you may be able to if you try it. So never give up on yourself. It is so hot. I think our heat index got up as high as 108 degrees today. So that's what it felt like to go outside. All right, let me see if this is on here good enough. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. And I wanted to keep some of these loose, you know. All right, so I'm just going to turn it over here. And I'm just going to take a little stitch and tie a knot. 1, 2. And then I'll hide the stitch in the layers, like so. All right, so that's Pam stitched on. And then I had Janet Nash's to go right here. Like so. So I'll just pin this here. Isn't it coming out nice? And then Anne's been working on hers. And hers is turning out rather pretty. And because I'm doing this live tonight, I may not be on at 6:30 in the morning because I have to drive out to Lexington to take Bernadette to the groomer in the morning. So instead of trying to rush around and do a live and do all that, this might be what everybody has to watch when they get up in the morning. So that's another reason for me to do the live now. I think for Janet's, I'm going to do a blanket stitch to try to make sure these gold threads don't come off. And I'm just going to keep using this pretty kind of creamy colored thread. I guess I could pin that in place a little bit so it doesn't wiggle on me. And I could probably come down some because the flowers that I have for here are quite big. Mine and Joyce's second one. Joyce sent me 2. And I want to use both of them. So I'm going to pin these on here. Hi, Peg. It's so hot. You know, even if I tried to go to bed right now, I don't think I'd be able to sleep because, oh, it's just miserably hot. It's probably not helping that I have the big light on so I can see right now. All right, this one, let's see. I need to maneuver it so I can work on it. Let's see. All right. And it was so fun to watch Janet this morning. Let's see here. This is going to feel like I'm going backwards. I need to move my thread or I'm going to dump it on the floor. Keep in mind, I'm going to have to maneuver this constantly to get everything where it needs to be for me to get it on here. Might move Janet's name for a minute. I'll pin that on. I might do their names just in real small stitches, like write it out on some embroidery transfer paper, and I might embroider their names on there. I found some denim and have decided to cut some flowers from the fabric. Someone was tossing jeans, so oh, of course you had to save them. Denim makes really pretty flowers too. Because, with denim, you can stitch it, do some embroidery stitches, or even stitch it on your machine, like in a circle, like maybe several circles around, and then you can just fray it from the edges, and that makes a really nice fuzzy looking flower. That would be a good way to use your jeans. Recycle them. Oh. So. Ooh. I do have those pins in there, so. Plumber's coming tomorrow, and I'm hoping they can get everything hooked up this week. So we'll have the use of the hall bathroom again. And I'm going to take a soaky bath as soon as I can. Scott's mom was moving really slow today. She's having a really hard time getting around. And watching her come downstairs is very nerve-wracking. And I'm sorry I'm not looking at the chat right now because I don't want to stab myself. I'm just doing a simple blanket stitch to hold this down on the edge here. I might move this pin with the pin away from me so I don't jab myself, because jabbing yourself is not pleasant. So I've got that in the afternoon. I got the dog in the morning. And because I'm cheap and I don't want to drive all the way back home, I've got to find something to do for the 2.5 to 3 hours that she'll be in the groomer. There's not a lot of places that I want to even go in anymore. Trips to the stores are very disappointing these days. Between having to check yourself out and no real staff in the building, most places, it's just, ugh. The more technology we get, the worse it gets with human communication. I'm losing some of the gold bits, but I might have to do something to help hold that down. The lame in this fabric here is wanting to slip away. Ouch. Uh-oh. Now I've wrapped it around the pin. Sorry, I'm probably not very visible. This is kind of awkward. It's big and awkward. It's 88 degrees there. Well, we had a top temp of 100, the heat index of 108, meaning it felt like 108 degrees. And getting in the car, even Scott started the car up before we left, and the car was still hot as it could be. My son's going in and out, in and out, in and out. I don't know. It's like, make up your mind what you want to do and get somewhere and stay there, is what my brain is saying. Oh no, let's just take this pin out and hope I don't mess it up. I may have to get another piece of thread. Go in here. Yeah, that's why I mowed the lawn on Friday, because I knew I was not going to be able to do it over the weekend. They said we might get thunderstorms tonight, which would be great for sleeping, and it would clear some of this pressure off. But it'll also mean that the next time it's hot, it'll be even more humid. The dehumidifier they installed under the house seems to run constantly. But I guess that's what we want. Keep the house from rotting around us. That was an expensive lesson to learn about dry rot. Don't keep your house too cold. It causes all kinds of problems. And I was told by the HVAC people, you can't really get any more than 20 to, maybe if you're lucky, 30 degrees below what it is outside, but 20 degrees is usually what most HVAC units can do. So if it's 100 degrees outside, the best you might do is 80 inside. That's coming along nicely, holding it down. I might get this one stitched down, and then tomorrow I might stitch some sequins onto Janet's flower, just because it says it needs more shine. All right, I'm going to go to the back, tie this one off. I didn't get to watch Ann today because we had to go visit Scott's mom, and I had to mail some things. That's something I need to do tomorrow while I'm waiting on the dog. I need to find the post office out there and mail some things that I couldn't make. I couldn't print labels at home for the stuff I needed, what's it called? Custom forms for. So I've got some things, and it's getting the addition of hair from the cat. Let's see. Oh, that's awesome. It's always good when you can see your projects come, to fruition and finished. We are so excited about the bathroom. Scott's been working on getting the closet and door and the actual bathroom door sanded and painted white. So he's been working on that some, and we got in the car this morning to go down to the grocery store because I needed a few things that Aldi's just wouldn't carry, like rice noodles and things like that. And the car told Scott that he had low pressure in the right rear, and we had picked up a drywall screw when we were over at the Restore the other day. Hi, Joyce. So I decided to do this tonight. And I need to wrap it up here in a minute. I was hoping to get Janet's sewed down here. And then I just have Joyce's other one and my great big monster flower. All right, now when I come back to start again, I'm just going to come up in that back side of that loop where I ended it. So it just looks like I've continued on. All right, so I'm going to get that one in the way, out of the way. Maneuvering this great big monster it's a trick sometimes, but we're getting it. I'm getting them stitched down. I guess I could have used a color, but I thought this white would kind of just not overpower what Janet already has on here is what my aim was, because it's such a pretty flower. And that was so much fun watching her over in Belgium this morning. Scott went there one time to teach a soldering class, I believe it was, when he worked at Bose, I think. Scott was blown away at the grocery store today because they have the laundry detergent locked up because people have been stealing it. So they're in these great big security boxes that they have to put them in with locks on them. And he was like, what? I just kept hearing him say, what? Seriously, what? But apparently it's a real problem. It's a real theft item. And I wouldn't think about trying to steal laundry soap, but it is expensive. I just think about when people steal, that raises the price for everybody. And that is just, you're not just stealing from the store, you're stealing from all of us, because they'll raise the price to cover that shrink, that cost that goes for that item. Yeah. Oh, and they've got the body wash is locked up too. They've got it on those that's got the little bar that comes down, and they have to bring a key and let you get the thing in, or there's a certain way you have to maneuver the little, like the detergent that I got, I had to slide one bar out of the way and then turn the soap to get it out, twist the bottle of soap to get it to fit out the little slot that opened. It was crazy. Shopping's a whole different experience. Told Scott soon, we'll just have to give him the list and somebody else will shop for us, and getting to pick our own stuff will be a thing of the past for sure. And I'm sorry there's a shadow. It's just the light is in a weird place, and I didn't take a lot of effort to make sure there was no shadows. I guess I could move this so that this light could come on. That might be a little better. You need to paint your bathroom door too. Yeah, all the doors that were interior doors used to be stained and then, had some kind of like varnish or clear coat of some sort on it. And we decided we'd paint them white to just lighten up everything, because I have to have some light every day. And with it being as hot as it's been, I've not even been opening all the curtains just to try to keep it cooler here in the house. Of course, cooking that roast today, it got the house pretty warm because, I had to leave it at 250 degrees for 6 hours. But that was the most tender, lovely roast. We don't have a lot left. And I did make some brown gravy. And we just put it on the roast because I had made that spring or summer pasta salad, and it was good too. And its dressing was balsamic vinegar, a quarter cup of balsamic vinegar, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and then just salt and pepper. That was the dressing for the pasta salad. And I thought it was pretty tasty. And in the pasta salad, we used penne pasta and fresh asparagus and some snap peas that you cook the snap peas and the asparagus for just 3 minutes and then plunge it into ice water after you drain it. Oh, that was really tasty. Oh, and there was fresh chives. What else did I put in there? Green onion. I think that's it. Very tasty. I love that cookbook, Forks Over Knives. It's got a lot of really good, yummy, healthy vegetable dishes. It's a vegetarian cookbook. Very good. And there's a whole diet plan for Forks Over Knives. I think I'm going to call it done and I sign off here and say goodnight to everybody. As soon as I get this flower stitched down, and then I'll pin mine and Joyce's other one on here. And if I don't get a flower this week, I'll just make another flower for the stem I have left. Sometimes things get lost in the mail, so. All right, I'm going to do one more. And I'm hoping some of the gold will stop falling off now that I've stitched it up. And there's the beginning bar, and I'm just going to go down in it here. There we go. I'll turn it over. Where I burned myself on the oven rack the other day. That's been special. The layers of skin just keep coming off and making a new raw place. So I'm thinking I did 3rd degree burn or better. So that's been pleasant. Not. All right, so now I've got to put this needle in here somewhere. Let me pull this back over here. And this is the garden so far. The cats are wanting in. But I've got my flower is here. See me. And I'm going to put it right there. So that's where that flower will go. And then I need to label Janet Nash's. So I'll put her name right here. And I've got to think of a way to include the names on here. And the more I think about just writing their name on that material and just laying it next to the stem and stitching it, that might be the way to go. And then this one's Joyce's other one. And I'm going to put it up here. And I'm going to pin it in place. Maybe. There we go. Ow! I've got 2 pins. I'll put 2 pins in here. I got to just remember before I stitch it, I got to take the paper out of the back that I've got your name written on. So, oh, wrong way, this way. This is the little garden piece so far. And that was it. Yeah, I know, but things are getting crazy. We're seeing more homeless people, and there was a girl sitting in front of the Goodwill tonight, and I told Scott, I said, we got to go get her something to drink, because she was deeply tanned, and it looks like she's having a hard time finding somewhere to sleep or somewhere to be comfortable. I told him, I said, let's go in the gas station, and I'll get her a couple drinks and a sandwich. And we took it over to her, and she was very grateful for it. And we told her to be safe. So hopefully she can find somewhere cool to rest and sleep tonight. But it is getting worse. So anyway, may we all be fortunate enough to have all the basic needs met And I know a lot of people don't think about basic needs, housing, clothing, food, or shelter. Not everybody's fortunate to have that. And when we can, we help what we can. I wish we could do more, but we have to meet our needs as well. But we do try to lend a helping hand in any way we can when we're able to. All right, so there's my flowers so far. I hope everybody has a wonderful week ahead. I may or may not come on at 6:30. If I don't come on at 6:30, you'll know I'm just pulling things together for the day tomorrow. And I will see you guys on Wednesday at 1:30, if not before. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.